I almost.
You want new
Treasurer?
Hello, hello.
Trustee Kelly.
Yes.
Your phone number on my list is it right? I tried to reach you a couple times.
734
Okay.
619 9405. That's my direct one
Sunday.
for my office. We've been working on getting the township number to
Okay.
forward direct to mine.
That's where I need to go. Okay.
I was visiting
So-
somebody in the
So I can
hospital on
make
Veterans Day, and they were giving out. And she asked me, "Are you a veteran?"
Ballfield
I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "Here."
president.
That's what
Make sure he get off on a good start.
Perfect.
But he asked for a lot. So
Oh.
some of them I had to tell him no, just hit.
No, I appreciate it. They've been asking me, and I've been giving them a hard time.
Hey, is it
Like,
true the Dollar General on Rawsonville is up for closing?
Monday. You know what? Rosemary might know.
I,
Is the Dollar General up to be closed? Okay.
They said they would close in another 130.
So what do you think? Because they were Luke's going to
Everything
play,
else out there
and they
is
were asking me
closing.
questions like, I don't know, we got the wrong number. Now we give them a
Although,
hard time.
I noticed
and
they're
then
fixing
finally
up
one
some of
them
those
called me, he's
stores
like, what are you
down there.
doing?
There's one of those stores where they had the liquor store. They're putting in new windows. They're fixing it up. It looks nice now.
Friend of mine and his sons.
So I don't know if they've
my
got any
son's
tenants,
class.
but it's looking
And
nice.
So they were trying to fit. And I was laughing. I was just, he's like, what is, and I said, I'm just having fun. And he was like, it's not funny.
The only one he had
It's
last
like,
was Dollar General.
I was like, I thought it was funny. I apologize because I didn't realize how stressed you were. So, but thank you so much.
Should be interesting.
It's been a while. You've been watching us on YouTube? I wasn't. You're right.
Yeah, I had 2 meetings at once with Belleville changes there.
Oh. Yeah.
And we have better, I want to be better.
Okay. Yeah. They're probably crowded in there with a bunch of people screaming to save Skelly in Belleville. For me,
No, something.
I got one phone call. I got numerous emails. I'd say they're 50-50. Get rid of Skelly and save Skelly.
Oh.
I don't care. I just don't want an eyesore in her front yard.
To a township phone, can you?
What I love is that Ken Voightfield getting more phone calls than I am.
Oh, man.
Somebody that is trying to get into my cell.
Call.
I'd rather have a
Yeah,
safe
yeah.
phone than
Even if they want to yell at me, I'll let them yell at me.
make it as safe.
Yeah. But so I have one on my desk that I have not returned. It just said, they just wanted to let you know this,
You know
you don't need to call them
Juan
back. So that one I probably won't call back.
He's a school resource officer.
Call me and just say, we just want to tell him that we're for Skelly. And, but he doesn't need to call us back. That's what that one said.
Phone back or, yeah.
2 minutes. Oh. One minute. This meeting is called to order at 6 o'clock. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. We are being broadcast live over Van Buren Television, Channel 12, and on YouTube. Could we, Deputy Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Frazier.
Here.
Trustee Kelly. Here. Trustee Boyan.
Here.
Trustee Martin.
Here.
Treasurer Budd.
Here.
Clerk Wright is excused, and Supervisor McNamara, you have a
I'm-
quorum.
Thank you. We do an executive summary. We have a consent agenda, which is basically paying our everyday bills or voucher lists. There's also the approval of a promotional public service agreement for Brandon Patter, who's agreed to be our water and sewer superintendent, and he's here. We'll say thank you to him. New business includes a discussion on Resolution 2507, consenting to Salem Township studying a pathway to construct a sewer line within the public right-of-way through Van Buren Township. We'll also have discussion on the first reading of an ordinance to rezone 10401 Belleville Road from multiple to C1 general business. Discussion will also be on the selection of JK of Michigan LLC for improvements to the Beckley and the North Shore lift stations, and discussions on a proposal from Fishbeck Engineering for professional engineering services for the same lift stations. Moving on, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Through the chair, make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, I got Treasurer Bud and Martin. Okay, is there any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. Thank you. Next is going to be, I'd like somebody to make a motion on adoption of the consent agenda.
Through the chair,
Trustee Boynton?
that we approve the consent agenda, which consists of the following: board meeting minutes of March 4th, prepaid list of March 6th, March 13th, and the voucher list of March 18th, all of 2025, and the approval of the promotional personal services agreement for Brandon Patton to water and sewer superintendent.
Okay. Does anybody have any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Did you have discussion?
Second.
Support.
I'm sorry, good point. To Mr. Kelly, Trustee Kelly. Thank you very much for catching that. I have a motion by Trustee Boynton, supported by Trustee Kelly. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. Before we go on, we have a new promotion, Brandon Patton. Could you come up? We'd like to say thank you for taking this position. We actually waited a long time to get Brandon, and it was back and forth, and we're really excited that he moved up. He's got numerous people that were telling us that he's the guy to bring in. Brandon, thank you very much for accepting.
Thank you.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, we have one of the best water and sewer systems in Southeast Michigan. It's tight. We keep it, we maintained. We televise and TV tens of thousands of feet every year and make sure that the sewer's in good shape. The parts that are aging, we quickly line. We're very proud of it, and because of that, we have some of the lowest water rates in Southeast Michigan. Moving on to public hearing, we have none. Next is correspondence, announcements, and presentations. I'm going to be in with Sherry, Treasurer Bud.
I think most of you have read, but I would just like to make a note that we have lost a good member of the community, Gerald McKelvey. He was a longtime resident of Van Buren Township and a man who wore very many hats. He was a graduate of Belleville High School and Eastern Michigan University, and he served in the Marine Corps. He also served as Director of Transportation for Van Buren Schools and worked for Ford Motor Company, where he retired after 19 years. Afterwards, he opened McKelvey and Associates Accounting and Tax Preparation offices. In his spare time, he found out that he could umpire for the local Little League Baseball and men's softball leagues. He served his community as a member of the Belleville Air Lions Club, president of the Belleville Area Chamber of Commerce, chairman of the Board of Appeals, and a member of the Water and Sewer Commission, all of Van Buren Township. And he was a founding member of the Belleville Area Independent newspaper. He did wear many hats, and he will be missed. Can we have a moment of silence? Thank you.
I'm going to read a little something I got about public safety. There was a nice little letter. Well, Elizabeth and Director Gerhart come forward. There's an announcement they want to make. So I got this letter from Jonathan Chapman. It said, "Dear Chief Wright," was forwarded over to me. "I am writing to commend Officer Fidel for his outstanding professionalism, diligence, and compassion in assisting me with a recent theft case. On March 10, 2025, my phone and wallet were stolen at Walmart. While the items themselves are replaceable, I carried something irreplaceable inside my wallet, a small piece of my mother's ashes, which I have always kept with me as a way to keep her close. The loss of that meant more to me than anything else. I filed a police report expecting the usual process, but I was genuinely surprised by the immediate response from the Van Buren Township Police Department. Officer Fidel accompanied me to the store right away, working closely with their loss prevention to identify the suspect. His thoroughness was remarkable. He reviewed surveillance footage, tracked the suspect's movements, and even obtained the license plate using our license plate readers. Officer Fidel went above and beyond, dedicating more time and attention to the case than I ever thought possible. His keen attention to detail and commitment to resolve the situation turned what could have been a frustrating experience into one of the most positive interactions I've ever had with law enforcement. His professionalism and dedication reflect highly on the department, and I sincerely appreciate the time and effort he put into my case. While the case at this time was not resolved yet, I have full faith in your department's ability to find and bring this thief to justice. The level of care and dedication shown thus far has given me great confidence in the work that you and your officers do for our community every day. Please extend our deepest gratitude." We've asked that this be put into Officer Fidel's file, but it's really nice that when you find people are going the extra mile out there, and that's our police. We expect that of them, and they do it. That's nice. Director Renaud, get great news.
Exciting news. So 2 weeks ago at our annual MParks conference, our very own Director of Recreation, Nicole Gerhart, has been honored with the prestigious Recreational Leadership Award from the Michigan Recreation and Parks Association. Out of all the parks and rec agencies across Michigan, Nicole is one of 2 recipients of this award, a remarkable achievement that speaks volumes about her talent, dedication, and impact in her field. So before she got to us, she's been working in the field of Parks and Rec since 2000, but joined our team last summer and really hit the ground running. Nicole has set high standards and served as a shining example in our recreation department. Her innovative programming ideas, tireless work ethic, and leadership have been invaluable to our BBC team and to the broader community here in BBT. In addition to her contributions here, Nicole currently serves as secretary for a regional recreation group representing Wayne and Monroe counties. She's a fantastic ambassador for our community, and her efforts continue to inspire all around her, and we're very happy to have her. So congratulations, Nikki.
Hey. Would you like to say anything? I understand they wanted a 10-minute speech from you.
They did. That was very stressful for me. No, I think we all just kind of do what we need to do to get our jobs done. Also, I think the main reason why we are here is for our residents, for our members. And
Okay.
I want the community center to be our happy place.
Okay, oh, that's nice. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Does anybody else have any announcements they'd like to make today? Have we got any holidays coming up that we don't know about?
Nope.
Okay. All right. I seem to miss those. All right. Let's see, where we are. Public comment. We're now at the public comment section. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to comment on any of today's activities at this time? All right. No? Okay. Unfinished business. We have none. New business. First item is the discussion on to consider approval of a resolution to grant consent to Salem Township to study a pathway to construct a sewer line with public right-of-way through Van Buren Township. Can I get a motion?
Through the chair.
Trustee Boynton?
Approve of Resolution 2025-07 to grant consent to Salem Township to study a pathway to construct a sewer line within the public right-of-way through Van Buren Township.
Support.
Support. Treasurer Bud. Director Akers?
Thank you very much. Salem Township has approached Van Buren Township requesting that we grant consent for them to study a pathway to construct and maintain a sewer line within the public right-of-way in the township, so they can connect to the YCUA wastewater treatment plant on the west side of Willow Run Airport. Salem Township has received approximately $35 million from the state of Michigan to construct a wastewater treatment plant within their township. Due to environmental runoff concerns, Eagle is encouraging them to study an alternative option, which would involve running a pipe all the way from Salem Township to the YCUA plant. Due to issues related to the sewer pipe in Washtenaw County, they are exploring the feasibility of completing this in Wayne County. Both Plymouth and Canton Townships have already granted resolutions of support for this study, and due to this, we are the last resolution they need to move forward. This request is under a specific Michigan state law, which requires the consent of the governmental body prior to undertaking this task. This request is only to complete a feasibility study of installing the sanitary sewer pipe in the area of Denton Road, north of Willow Run Airport. So Van Buren Township has limited sanitary sewer capacity in the northern portion of the township, where sanitary sewer is discharged to our Rouge Valley sanitary sewer system. Due to this, we have been performing a study which is analyzing what options we have to develop the 1,000+ acres which are currently vacant in this area. This project creates an opportunity for the township to explore if it is feasible for us to try to align our efforts with Salem Township and YCUA to see if we are able to acquire additional capacity in the YCUA system and discharge sanitary sewer through the Salem Township owned pipes. Salem Township has, my understanding, verbally agreed to explore this option. We're in the process of scheduling meetings to begin discussions. The resolution before you does include language which conditions our support on them working with us to explore this option. This is an interesting opportunity that we're exploring to alleviate an existing issue we have at the township. And this concludes my summary, and I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
We're the luckiest people in the world. So just so that I'm going to take what you said and turn it into my storyline. So Salem Township, 36 square miles township that basically doesn't like government. They want the smallest government in the whole world. They have a very small, poor fire station, a fire group, volunteer. They don't have cops. They job that out to the local county. I think they've got like one clerk, one deputy, and a deputy treasurer. I think they have it run on a $3 or $5 million budget a year. It's just they hate running things, and they make a lot of money off their landfill, which is right on the border of Northville Township, and Northville Township went and built multi-million-dollar homes right along that border with that landfill. It stinks. So Northville Township's obviously angry about it and organized, and they are organized, and Plymouth Township's organized against the landfill. But now Salem Township is sitting on one of the most expensive pieces of land that nobody's developing. In come the developers, big names, Showstack and stuff like that, and they buy up half Salem Township. And they go to put in their businesses. You can't put businesses in there. They don't have any sewer. They don't have any wastewater treatment, barely have water. So, and Salem Township doesn't want to put it in because they don't like government. So these developers sue Salem Township, and Salem Township says, yeah, right, you can't make us build this. Well, the judges said otherwise, and they lost twice in court. So they then told the developers, we're not building it, we don't have $35 million. So the developers are really big-time Republican heavyweights. They went to Lansing and just said, we need $35 million, and they gave it to them. So they gave them $35 million to build a wastewater treatment plant. They were gonna put the base wastewater treatment plant right there on the corner of Northwood Township and Plymouth Township and Salem Township, right in the corner. And Shostak gave them 30 acres to put the wastewater treatment plant there. Again, Salem Township doesn't like government. They don't want government. Now they're gonna have to run a wastewater treatment plant. Expensive, it's horrible. You gotta hire employees, you got OPEB, you got a whole nightmare. So they came back and says, well, what happens if we run a sewer down here? And they're like, there's no way anybody's going to approve your sewer. Well, Norfolk Township doesn't want it because of the smell. Plymouth Township doesn't want it. And it turns out that Canton, the discharge for that wastewater treatment plant would be into Fellows Creek, which you know is the main waterway through Canton. So Canton went nuts. So the only person they had to get to agree to this was us. We just finished up a study which they're putting together options that tell us basically we're out of discharge capability in the north. We're very tight on it. We can do some more subs and things like that. But if anybody comes here and wanting to build something that takes a lot of water, they'll probably be denied by the state of Michigan because we can't handle the discharge. But that sewer line's gonna come right down Denton Road, and instead of being 36 inches, all we have to do is make it 48 inches and buy the capacity at Yucca to move it into Ypsilanti's wastewater treatment plant. Plus, the Republicans really want to get this done, and they've got a lot of stuff, so it probably won't even cost us anything. We'll probably get the state to pay for it. So we're just the luckiest people in the world, I think. So that's why we bring this for you to you and say we'd like to look at this. We're not agreeing to do it. We're just saying we're going to start looking at the feasibility of Van Buren Township, of them running the pipe through our town, and us piggybacking on that pipe and going to Ypsilanti. That's what this is all about.
Through the chair?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was my first concern, was any cost to the township, which they should pay for it. It's pretty much their line. I mean, we're gonna tap into it. My second concern is Yucca themselves. What kind of capacity are they gonna add, and have they said that they can handle it?
So they have verbally told us that there is some capacity available for purchase, and we're actually going to be meeting with them tomorrow to discuss it.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's something we should. So right now we're spending how much money on that feasibility study to figure out how to solve this problem?
I think the feasibility study is $199,000.
Okay, so we're spending a lot of money trying to figure out how to solve this problem, and then these people just walked in and dropped this on our lap. We're like, wow. Right now, we're looking at taking it to Shuva, but because it was too expensive to go to Yucca. Any other questions? Okay, I've got a motion by Trustee Boynton, supported by Treasurer Budd. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Director. Next item is a discussion on to consider approval of the first reading of ordinance 31825, an ordinance to amend the Township zoning ordinance to rezone the property at 10401 Belleville Road from multiple to general business. Can I get a motion? Yes.
I move that we approve of the first reading of ordinance 03-1825, which is an ordinance to amend the township zoning ordinance to rezone the property at 10401 Belleville Road from RM multiple to C1 general business.
Thank you. Can I get a second? Support. Thank you, Trustee Kelly. All right, Director?
L Car Wash is proposing to rezone the property at 10401 Belleville Road from RM Multiple Family Residential to C1 General Business. The applicant has the eventual intention to construct a car wash facility at this site. The proposal for rezoning has been reviewed by our consultant McKenna and Associates and our Planning Commission, and both have recommended approval of the rezoning request based on its consistency with our master plan. The township's master plan has the area designated as Gateway Commercial, which is consistent with our C1 zoning district. The applicant has not applied for, as of yet, site plan approval nor special land use approval for the car wash development. Independent of this rezoning, the applicant will need to ensure that they meet the standards of approval for site plan review and special land use approval. I want to make sure that we're clearly conveying that this request is for the rezoning of the property only, of the property only, and that the applicant will need to obtain special land use and site plan approval to construct a car wash. We have received no application for this as of yet, and the applicant will need to do so in order to build the proposed use. We did receive some correspondence regarding this request from the owner of the Waterworks Car Wash, which expressed concern regarding the number of car washes in the area, and the letter was not in support of rezoning. This letter was included in the packet. I understand that there have also been several other comments received which express concerns regarding the proposed development, specifically traffic in and around the site, in addition to other comments. Based on the review of the rezoning request, we are recommending that the rezoning request be approved as it is consistent with the township's master plan. But if the applicant submits the application for special land use and site plan approval, we will ensure the project is reviewed based on the standards of our zoning code, and we'll make sure we take a look at the concerns that are raised by the public. This concludes my summary. I am available for any questions. I believe there is an L Car Wash representative in the crowd as well. I apologize, sir. I'm not sure what your name is. I didn't get a chance to catch it before the meeting, but I'm sure the representative would be available for questions as well.
Any questions on the car wash or the rezoning? It's going to get rezoned probably anyway, right? Nobody's planning on putting multiple in that location on Belleville Road.
I'm only aware of the proposal to do one car wash, or the plan to do one car wash. This request, the rezoning, it goes from an RM district to a commercial district, which is what our master plan has designated for the site.
Okay.
So when we do the reviews, that's primarily what we look at, but and that's why the recommendation for approval from our consultant and our planning commission came forward.
Chair, is that the one in front of the medical center?
No. This one is across the street from Tim Hortons, according to Treasurer Bud, which I just asked.
Yeah, well,
Right next door to Westlake Apartments.
Brick building there, brick home, I think.
There's two houses over there.
Okay.
Through the chair, I have a question. With the traffic there, has there been a traffic study to see feasibility of this kind of use or this activity there? It's a high traffic activity.
There has not been a traffic study completed as of yet. We have advised the applicant that as part of their site plan review package, they would need to submit a traffic study for that location.
Sorry. Is this a special, when it gets into, would it be a special land use? Is it falling underneath that, or is it a permitted once it gets rezoned?
It's a special land use.
Okay.
and through the chair. And the only reason the planning commission looked at it is that it met what the planning and what the master plan was looking at. They did not look at or consider what it would be, just that the rezoning needed to do to follow the master plan. That's the only thing they looked at.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, my concern is, I think that it does need to be rezoned, and just for the fact that it is part of our master plan, and it should be rezoned to C1. As far as a car wash coming there, there's a car wash an eighth of a mile away from that present location, and there's one already being constructed, probably less than a mile from that. These car washes are being like gas stations, you know what I mean? You know, they're popping up everywhere, and I don't see that I don't see a need for another car wash, especially in that area.
I agree. I just, I don't know what you do.
It should be, well, you don't grant the special land use. I just think it's a poor use of the property.
Through the chair.
Yeah, trustee Boynton.
Along with the other statements made as far as with the master plan and everything, one of my major concerns is the traffic study as well. I know that the Planning Commission has gone through a great deal of work on that area of Belleville Road, specifically from Westlake Apartments south to the I-94 North Service Drive, as far as with another access lane. So, as I said before, along with all the other comments made here, my number one concern is the traffic study.
To the chair, is there any way we could put like a moratorium like we did on gas stations on this?
Go ahead.
I mean, of course, the board does always have the ability to do that. There would be some challenges if we did that in this instance.
The understanding that you can't moratorium something that's in the process, in the queue, basically.
Short answer is
Yeah.
there's repercussions for doing so.
Okay.
To the chair.
Yes, sir.
I agree with trustee Boynton about the traffic. Waterworks is tough enough trying to come out of there and make a left-hand turn is nearly impossible. And I can't imagine trying to do the same thing an eighth of a mile away.
I'm thinking you're not doing site plan, you're gonna have to go back to go do all that stuff next, right?
Right.
I agree with trustee Martin. If the issue is, what's this gonna be zoned? It's a slam dunk. It's our master plan. That's what we always known it's gonna be zoned, so I'm for this, but boy, do I have a lot of questions on the other part, like you do. Just gonna back
And so does the
entrances.
planning commission.
Yeah.
I know in the planning commission, I commend them for the hard work they do and the due diligence on any project that comes to the township, and they do a great job as far as doing what they need to do, but.
Okay, you wanna try and get in front of something before?
Yeah, just so from a traffic perspective, we've already proceeded with ordering a traffic study. We'll have a traffic study within about 2 weeks. Just kind of the nature of the uses here, where car washes generally go on roads that are already busy. You're pulling from that existing traffic. You're not bringing new traffic to the roadway. I understand there's turning movements on and off the roadway, but that's what we're reviewing our traffic study and making sure that those movements are going to be safe, whether it's right in, right out, whatever that movement configuration will be. That's all going to be revealed in the traffic study. And then when we submit for special land use and site plan approval, which will be our next step, we'll have that fully fleshed out and be ready to have that detailed conversation about how the site lays out, proximity to the intersection, all that kind of stuff.
Not to be a wet rag in all of this, but Belleville Road is a very safety-conscious area for the township. Very safety-conscious. Any turning lane for Belleville Road requires a great deal of scrutiny. So I would just give you that bit of forewarning. Okay.
We'll make sure we're sharpening our pencils when we're looking at that.
You definitely need some sharp pencils.
Pencil sharpener at home.
For the planning commission, did you want to say something?
I do.
Yes, Trustee Martin?
And a traffic study today would probably, is gonna show you something entirely different from when we widened Belleville Road from Tyler Road to Ecorse Road. You're gonna get a lot more traffic. People avoid that stretch of Belleville Road just because it's congested and there's no left turn lane. So once that happens, you're gonna get a lot more volume of traffic on Belleville Road, trust me. The traffic study may not show it today, but a year from now, or, 2 years from now, when that's complete, it's gonna be a whole different story. I think we have to look into the future. We can't look at what it is today, we have to look into the future, and that's why we do these master plans and we project, things out, so I think the traffic is gonna increase greatly on Belleville Road.
Can you tell me a little bit about El Car Wash?
Yeah, so I don't want to get too much into the site plan side of things, but El Car Wash is, they're located out of Florida. They're one of the largest car washes in Florida. Over the past 3 years, they've branched into Southeast Michigan. They're actually the official car wash of the Detroit Lions, so they have little local roots here. Barry Sanders is involved. But we've opened 2 so far. We have 3 or 4 that are under construction, and then we hope to open another 10 within the next 3 years. So, actively moving into the market, looking for good sites, and we've identified this as one that we think would be a good site. Really, the rezone is just the northern strip of this parcel, or these conglomerate of parcels. It's just the northern 100 feet that is RM. That we'd be requesting to rezone to C1, which would blend in with the parcels south of us that are already zoned C1.
I have no other questions. Does anybody else have a question?
No.
Okay, we do have a motion by trustee Boynton. It's been supported by treasurer Bud for the rezoning of this parcel. What?
Kelly.
Oh, Boynton and Kelly, thank you, sorry. For the first reading of this ordinance, this is not, this is a voice vote, so all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. It'll be read again in 2 weeks' time. Next item is discussion on and consider approval of the Beckley and North Shore lift station improvements. Yes, trustee Martin.
I make the motion to consider approval of Beckley and North Shore Lift Station improvements to be awarded to JK of Michigan LLC and to be paid out of Capital Outlay Lift Station 592-537-971-004.
Support by treasurer Bud. Okay, Director Minor.
Good evening. I'm here to ask that you approve JK of Michigan LLC to do the improvements of North Shore and Beckley Lift Station. They were the lowest bidder. They come highly recommended by Lenawee County and Eaton Rapids. They've proven to do quite a few of these stations. They did 18 in Lenawee alone, and they're still working with them.
Could you give the board a short synopsis of our lift station improvement, program that we're going through right now and why we're doing it?
They're in need. Beckley Lift Station's 1970 is when it was built. You know, construction's being done in the township, adding homes, adding, other things to them. So to do the capital improvement, we need to stay up on them, get ahead of it.
Okay. How many lift stations do we have?
You get 16?
Yeah. Okay. They're all got generators now?
Yes.
And basically, if anybody doesn't know, lift stations basically sewers, gravity feed down, lift station lifts it up, and then gravity back out. Lift station doesn't work, it goes back this way, flooding happens in everybody's basement, so we're trying to get ahead of the game, and they've been working fine, but we see what's happening with the weather, so we're gonna amp up our game a little. Any other questions? Okay. Hearing none, I have a motion by trustee Martin and supported by treasurer Bud. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Director. Next item is discussion on to consider approval of Fishbeck Engineers' proposal for providing the engineering for these lift stations. Can I get a motion?
Through the chair.
Kelly?
I move to consider approval of a Fishbeck engineering proposal for professional engineering services for Beckley and North Shore Lift Station Construction Administration.
Okay. Trustee Frazier, support? Okay. Director Bidner again.
You guys will approve Fishbeck's proposal for professional services to be the construction administration on the project. They'll oversee the shop drawings, they design the station. They'll attend any meetings, they'll you know, make sure that, you know, as much concrete as they put down is all we're getting charged for. Same with electrical work. Any work that's being done will be accounted for.
Great. Okay, any questions? Pretty much the same thing.
What was their charge?
Sorry, trustee Martin?
Or what was Fishback?
1,700, to not exceed that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I have a motion by trustee Kelly and supported by trustee Frazier. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next item are reports, of which we have none. We are now into public comment for non-agenda items. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to comment on non-agenda items? Hearing none. Anybody from the board wishes to comment on any non-agenda items? I understand. Can you give us a bridge update? I asked you to check in on that. But I see them working and ripping that plane apart now. It's really cool.
Yeah, buddy.
So just to kind of give a little bit of an update, they've been in the process of drilling shafts. They're starting to frame up the abutments on either side of the bridge. My understanding is that they had a slight delay, but they'll be back on schedule prior to the end of the month. And then as far as that's where they're at right now. We're working on some messaging because there's been a lot of questions about the seasonal closures. There was only going to be a handful of days over the summer that they were going to have to close down to set bridge beams and do information. They don't know what those specific days are yet because of construction scheduling, but we're working on a written, what's the word I'm looking for? A written news blast that kind of explains that. And then as we know when the closures come up, we'll make sure that they're communicated out.
And they know Lake Fest and 4th of July is kind of...
Yes, so we are in the process of gathering all the events for the summer in the city of Belleville. We're gonna send them all to them. I believe the next progress meeting we're gonna have is it's either this week or next week. I have to look at my calendar, but
Okay.
we're moving along.
All right, thank you very much. Okay.
As of Thursday, it's been closed 900 days.
Really? Wow. Oh, well.
Well, just imagine if we hadn't provided the engineering and the thing, it would be a whole lot longer than that, so.
Yeah, we just got the, I don't think we've even gotten the money yet. We haven't gotten the money yet, have we?
Not yet. So we do have our IGA. We've been compiling all of our design invoices. I think we sent them an invoice 2 weeks ago. So we finally got it out, finally got everything out to them, and we have a contract with them, so I expect them to pay us back.
Yeah, okay.
It probably wouldn't even have been started yet.
No, probably, I mean, nobody builds $10 million bridges unless they have the money in the bank. All right, any other questions, comments?
From Bridges R Us.
What?
So you can't get them from Bridges R Us.
No. All right, no questions? Motion for adjournment, please.
Moved.
Moynton,
Second.
Frazier, hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Yeah, good fast one.